Hello, beautiful people. It is essential that we start to trust. A new earth is coming. We can feel that, we can see that, we sense that, we know that. A new earth is upon us. And how are we going to navigate ourselves? What is going to be our guide? Let's talk about this today. All right, let's dive in so we can rise high, beautiful people. Oh my goodness, 2020 has really shown us that the Great Awakening is here now and that we are on our way to a new earth, okay? Eckhart Tolle has a book on the topic, A New Earth, right? And he talks all about the present moment and coming into the now, right? And coming into what's here and letting go of what's there, right? He talks about the pain body and not being seduced by it. This is all part of it. And trust is how we live in the present moment. So if you think about it, all our goals, our financial goals, relationship goals, goals of a good life, all those have to do from a past belief, somewhat of lack, projecting into a future that has to look a certain way. So when we're in the present moment, we only have the now, okay? So how do we navigate time without past and without a future? This is where trust comes in. It is essential for where we are heading in the development and the evolution of humankind and the Earth's transformation that we stay in the present moment and we cultivate a trust. A trust that kind of has this feminine quality to it, this flow and this circle energy to it. And so, in Gabriel Roth's 5 rhythms, there is a rhythm called flow, okay? And when you dance with that energy, it's very different than you would the energy of Gabriel Roth's 5 rhythms, the staccato, right? So if you know anything about the 5 rhythms, it's profound to dance this out, flow and staccato. It kind of is like the old paradigm of, create a goal for the future, look at the past. This is what we, the stepping stones, the linear process, staccato. And then going into chaos, getting all that out of there and then coming into flow. And flow is where we're going in this new earth, feeling guided over here, pulling back in, being guided over here. Oh, this is where my next financial contributions is coming from. Oh, there's my next relationship. Oh, I just lost this but gained this. And we kind of just keep going with the flow. And that is the beauty of playing with Gabriel Roth's 5 rhythms. You can really feel that in your body, the energy of staccato, chaos, and flow. When you feel those 3 in contrast to each other, you can kind of feel that that's the energetics of where we've been, where we are in 2020 in the chaos, and where we're going with the flow in the new earth. Flow requires trust. Okay? It's not harnessing, and it's not in this like power of doing and goal setting. It's very like, I surrender. I trust. Okay? Now, when we are being called to trust, it can bring up some big things for us, okay? It can really bring up some past programming. And this is where the work comes in. When you're meditating, when you're on your walk, when you're doing your breathing or toning practice, And you really set the intention of like, I trust. And you may notice that there's parts of you that say, no, we don't. We want to bring those up to the surface. We want to bring those out of the subconscious and up to the conscious and say, hi, hi. I know that you're not trusting right now, but it's okay. You almost treat it like it was a little child, because essentially it is. Essentially it is the child portion of yourself. Okay, so it's really powerful work to find a past program of yours and bring it on up. And you can ask, how old is this? How old am I being when I'm being this? Get it, an age will pop into your mind. Okay, say 8 years old. And then you talk to it like it's an 8-year-old child and say, hey, you want to come sit with me? And, let's play cars or Barbies together and talk this out and play it out, play out a scenario. Okay. Put your arm around your 8-year-old self, and your adult self and your awakened self can say, it's really going to be okay. It really is. If it's a smaller being, say it's 3 years old, be like, hey, you want to sit on my lap? And just give it a big hug and let it envelop and entrain to your awakened perspective that all is okay. Trust and surrender. Now, recently going through some big energy shifts and ascension symptoms, I'm going to have to lay back a little bit. I am working wholeheartedly with this trust and surrender thing. Since COVID, my businesses are very different. They are just non-existent in one area, and then I'm flowing into a whole new area, but to really trust. And so, guys, I am working this along with you, bringing up that old programming and being like, there's a moment of choice here. Here comes the old pattern, the old program. Are you going to react and respond the same way? And if you're like, you know what, I want something different. I'm creating a new me in a new earth. I am going to go into flow and trust. And the flow and trust feels so, so good. Yet there's a little part of me that gets a little like, oh, okay. And I got to bring that part up and say, we are okay. So it's a little schizophrenic talking to all these different parts of yourself, but it's all there. It's all just an energy and a vibration, a story, and you get to talk to that part of yourself. It's really a beautiful practice. So, it's essential, this trust thing. It's basically a requirement right now, guys. It's a requirement that you start trusting yourself fully. The new earth is coming. It is here. It's coming. It's flowing. It's creating. There's a lot of timelines that are happening. And if you are willing to surrender and trust, you get to jump onto the timeline that is evolving spirituality. It's evolving consciousness. It is evolving a new earth. It's evolving new dimensions on this planet. But if you're not willing to trust, you will probably hang out more in that 3D and whatever that's going to be creating. And it's going to get even denser, guys. So trust is essential. And as we go into that new earth, that's how higher dimensions work, okay, with that type of flow. So, just like this is how 3D land works with linear protocols and fear-based practicality and things and rationality, those are the things that make 3D work. Well, when you go into the higher dimensions, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, trust is the thing that works there. So you have to play with the constructs that make a dimension work. And you have to vibrate where you want to be. So where do you want to be? You want to stay in 3D? Do you want to be in 4D, high 4D, 5D, 6D? Do you want to come into the new earth in 7D? So it just depends what you choose. And if you want to be in the higher dimensions, trust is essential. The vibration and frequency of trust is essential. So start practicing now. When you start getting, claustrophobic around your life and you start to be like, oh, there's not enough, and who's going to take care of me, and who's going to take care of them, and how are they, and the fear starts rising, bring that programming up, breathe some fresh air into it. It's gonna be okay. Let it go and tune in to the frequency of trust, because that's where we're going in the new earth, and it's essential to practice the trust frequency if that's what we want to be choosing. And trust means living in that present moment, letting go of past roles, past stories, past programming, letting go of future realities, future projections, future goals. Now, it's okay to have targets. It's okay to have aspirations, feel them energetically, but we want to let go of the real linear process of this is how my life wants to look. We want to start trusting the energy of a life that we want to be living. And then the universe matches that energy, and it may not look exactly the way we thought. Now, this might be a new way of living. And so if any of you need support around this, I do coaching, and I bring my sound work into it. So feel free, if you want to test it out, I do a free 30-minute discovery call. So feel free to take advantage of that. I also do a Marconic no-touch energy session, which helps to realign your whole energy body, basically, to come into these newer frequencies of the new earth so that you can more easily trust, so you can let go of denser karmic ties. So if you really would like support with this, please reach out. And if it's not with me, reach out. There's tons of people right now on the planet that are light workers, really wanting and willing and there for people and to assist them at this time. Because it is a crazy time. We're coming into a whole new way on planet Earth. And if you're watching this to this point, you know what I'm talking about. Things are shifting. There's tons of different timelines that we get to fill into. We get to choose if we want to live in density or lightness. And yet, it can be challenging doing it on your own. So I want to let you know, you're not alone. You're never alone. One, you always have your higher self, and you always have a broader community that is holding the light on the planet, that are workers for the new earth and for the ascension process. You are never alone, sweet being. So on that note, let me know how this landed for you. Where are you with trust? And I'd love to connect with you, either the comments or a free discovery call. Let me know. And thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you being here on this video, being here part of this high vibe tribe where we are remembering our greatness together. So if you have any wisdom around trust and surrendering and a good story that we might all relate to and help us land this frequency of trust, please share it in the comments. So beautiful people, have a wonderful, trusting day. See you tomorrow.